welcome back to Chris's Book Reviews. I did read this book called Station 11, and, well, at first you may think, oh, this is just a post-apocalyptic book with a nice story. Well, you're right, that's all it is. There's no hidden meaning at all, there's no depth, there's just, everything's surface level for the most part. And not only that, I went to a Q&A with the author, and I had some ideas on why she chose some of these names in the book, like St. Deborah. There's some history behind that name. Well, she answered, oh, well, I thought it was a cool sounding name, so that's why I chose it. And that's nice, but it would have been better if the story had some insights or just any kind of deeper meaning that you could write a paper about it or just analyze it and it'd be fun to just think about. And it really doesn't do that. All you can really take away from it is it kind of makes you feel grateful because it's post-apocalyptic, and it makes you say, oh, okay, yeah, I'm glad this isn't happening to me, and I'm really happy for the stuff I have in my life. But other than that, you can't really do much with it. Also, a couple things about it was just plain weird. There's this one character named Arthur. He died in the beginning, and every other character was tied back to him for no apparent reason. And it doesn't explain that whatsoever. And not only that, there were some logical fallacies and just errors in thinking throughout the book. For example, they had this group of musicians in this traveling symphony, and once they were traveling north during the winter, and it wasn't just, oh, it's in the south part of the United States where it's really warm. No, it was, oh, they're going to the Great Lakes north in winter, which, if you don't know about the Great Lakes, they have some of the harshest winters in the U.S. And the big apocalypse that occurred, it wasn't a global climate change or anything, it was a disease. And speaking of the disease, a character in the book said, oh, we lost how many? 1 in 250, 1 in 300? And then he later goes on to say we lost 99.9% of the population. That's 1 in 10,000. Not 1 in 250, not 1 in 300. That's just a math error on the author's part. Unless she just trying to convey that the character wasn't the brightest, even though this character was leading a cult. So he had to have some intuitive just intellect to just be able to manipulate people the way he did. And honestly, there's really not that much to analyze in this book. It was just a nice story, makes you really consider what you have and makes you grateful. But besides that, everything was really shallow and just overall bland. The plot, it was okay. It was loose at best, and it just followed two characters around for the most part, which it was nice. But again, there wasn't any hidden meaning, and she even throws in some Shakespeare in the book. And I wanted to ask her a question about that, but someone in the audience already did. And this was her reply to the question, why did you add Shakespeare to the book? Oh, well, I thought it sounded nice, and I talked to my husband, and he said, oh yeah, people would want what's best for the world. And she took what her husband said verbatim and put that in the book, which it's not the worst thing, but that's not her own ideas. It's not that creative. There's no double meaning or just nothing really in depth, which just kind of takes away from the book. And the idea of the plot or the plot line, it was a good plot, but it could have been executed a lot better, and it was kind of like a failed idea. And I recommend reading it, but only to discover maybe something I might have missed. And if you do discover something, please comment below, and be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. But for the most part, this is not the greatest read at all.